Good morning, guys. You didn't have to wait 6 months for the next video. I didn't get it done as soon as I wanted to, but apparently my phone overheats and the camera doesn't work then, so it's taken me a minute. In my last video, in my response to Watchtower's response to the Australian Royal Committee, I said that I had a pretty good suggestion for how they can handle a lot of things all at once. And you're going to have to stay with me a minute. Don't come for me yet. But maybe just hide behind their religious rights, their autonomy as a religion just a little bit more. Because, they have fought for, or they have argued that they should be able to hide their database from investigations and warrants and subpoenas by right. Because anything they do as religion is a religious practice, because they're a religion. Doesn't matter if it's administrative stuff at all. Like, anything they do as a religion is a religious practice. They literally fought to freaking hide a very detailed database. They fought for the right to not report child abuse, because according to them, a victim of child abuse is a sinner. Like, they've sinned, and this is serious, and they need to talk to their clergy about it. It's not something that they should have to report to the police themselves. Like, they're dealing with the penitent and providing religious counsel. Like, these are kids. I'm going to say this every single time I get the freaking opportunity. These are kids looking for help. We're not in a third world hovel of a country where a victim is guilty until proven innocent. Quit it. Anywho. They've had people lay down their lives for strict adherence to the interpretation of the biblical rules. Like, they are strict. And they're completely immune to governmental interference somehow or other, because it's a religious practice. Like, Jesus healed on the Sabbath and said, I ask for mercy and not sacrifice. And there's the life over law thing and that whole debate. But no, like, if it comes down to a 25-cent political card, your whole family is going to be violated, pillaged, and your home is going to be burned to the ground, and you're all going to be killed and burned up with it. Like, you're supposed to have your children die. They fought for the right to continue to shun as a religious practice. They stand behind shunning of defectors, even when they're victims of abuse. It's acknowledged that it's extremely, extremely cruel. They admit it. But they won't stop, because that's their translation of Scripture. And it's their right. And you knew what you signed up for when you got baptized in the first place. Did you really? Ugh. I did a poll. 75% of baptisms of the people that participated were minors. 5 out of 6 were high school graduate age or less. Like, they're still living at home. They're not allowed to look at holidays in context. They're not allowed to really associate with other people. How can you make an informed decision without being allowed to research, like legitimately research and observe other belief systems? I'm getting off topic. But yeah, they do all these really insanely cruel things and follow rules to such a strict T. And when someone objects, they say, you know what you signed up for. Okay, so what's the solution? What's this got to do with the solution to this problem they have with child abuse and whether or not they should be held liable? Well, because they've cherry-picked when they're going to follow the rules, which isn't really following the rules that they're telling everybody that we have to go by. It's not following the principles. So why not continue to follow the principles? It's like there's so many YouTube channels out there with ex Jehovah's Witnesses pointing out how, they justify a whole judicial committee and putting men in the judgment seat by, if you have an issue with another congregation member, you take it to this person between you and them. If they don't listen, take 1 or 2 more. If that doesn't even work and you have not regained your brother, take it before the congregation. Why aren't they taking it before the congregation? They don't have to risk lawsuits or something about spreading, bad things about them, because just like you can be shunned for being a defector because you just can't stand to be in this place and follow these rules where, you can be assaulted and be considered bad because you're a victim, all because you didn't have 2 witnesses, so you leave. And it's okay to lose completely everything and to destroy actual human lives. It's okay to destroy actual human lives, not just wreck their reputation. Like, this is like suicidal mess right here. It's okay to do that, but you can't follow through with this process that you're trying to justify. The same process you're trying to use to justify this is the process that you're not following through with to make the congregation aware. Like, why don't they do this? They don't want people to know why somebody's leaving, because you have to, they meet with you to figure out why you're leaving and to see if they can talk you out of it. They don't want people to know. They want to be able to take the abused and battered spouse and be like, yep, they left their husband, or the only way they could see to leave their husband was this cheating thing that's been browbeat onto them for their entire lives. The only way you're getting out of this marriage is if somebody cheats or dies, and nobody really wants to die, although I'm sure some people go with that thought process. Unfortunately, please don't do that. Ask for help. It's not worth it. You can't have somebody who's the only way I could see out was to cheat, And, apparently some elders don't want to tell you that your divorce is, scriptural if you did it in order to dispose of a spouse. Like, even though technically it is, it's still up to the elders. Like, how did they get put in this judgment seat? Why aren't they bringing it before the congregation? Because they want to be able to get rid of this person and silence them and be like, yeah, okay, nobody's going to know that, her husband beat the crap out of her and we didn't do anything about it. They're just going to know that she left and she's bad, and they're not going to talk to her anymore. Like, really? Like, you're not going to disfellowship people because they were struggling and depressed and suicidal, and they turned to like alcohol, and somebody saw them kind of stumbling out in public. Like, we can't have people looking like that and be called a Jehovah's Witness. Somebody in the congregation is going to be like, oh, I wonder what's wrong with him. What took him to that point? Somebody's going to be actually like having a heart and have some critical thinking skills. They're in there. They care. They have brotherly love. And it's not like the whole like disfellowship thing is so trumped up. You don't know what these people got disfellowship for, and yet I've had people literally turn around and run from me. I didn't know what I got disfellowship for until later on, and it's still a whole bunch of speculation. Like, what if people actually knew? What if it wasn't such a great tool for silencing people? Is like, if they're not following through with the same scriptural like decree that they justify destroying people with, how do we say it's not something to hide? Like, if your life can be over, if your family can be ripped apart, if you can lose everything, no matter how much you need the support of your family, if you can lose everything, and you knew what you signed up for, why is the judicial committee that's supposed to be taken before the congregation so secret? Why can't you have people reach out to you and love and understanding? And maybe some people might be a little disgusted with you because they're a bunch of zealots, but there's somebody out there that's like, okay, maybe I don't want to think that she needs a divorce, or maybe I don't want to think that what she did was okay, but maybe she needs a little bit of compassion. I don't want to drive this person to the point of harm. Somebody's going to have a heart. Somebody's going to have a conscience. Somebody's going to have some critical thinking skills. If this is not a tool of silence, why don't we bring them before the people that love and care about them? The only people that can love and care about them legitimately, according to their own publications. Why aren't we going to have them involved in trying to recover somebody who needs to be recovered? Don't tell me it's to protect their privacy when if you can destroy a person, you're more than willing to do it because that's what you've been told to do. Don't tell me it's to protect their privacy. I don't want to see that shit in the comments. They destroy people. They know what they do is unloving and cruel, and they admit it. They have people die. They have people basically sacrifice their children's lives because of the blood policy. Expect them all to follow through it because that's what they signed up for. And yet we can't bring an issue where they need redeeming in front of people that love them and care about them. Don't tell me it's about privacy. It's about silence and control. And if they bring a child abuser to the forefront in front of their congregation, would it not also be protecting the congregation? Would it not also be protecting the child? Would it not also be saying, we are not going to tolerate this? We need you to know And when they go and report it to the police, people are going to be like, yeah, they said this and they said that, and this isn't cool. Like, maybe I don't know what to believe right now, but I'm not going to blame somebody for taking it to the police. I'm not going to shun somebody because they took it to the police and the elders don't have a personal opinion where they think they agree with it. That's basically what it comes down to, is the elders' personal opinion. They aren't, if the governing body isn't even spirit-led and infallible, how are these elders? How is this such a secret thing, and why wouldn't they do something? Why are they cherry picking now when they could follow through with the same thing that they're arguing to justify harm, if it could also protect? Now, I don't agree with the whole thing in general, but, you know, if they want to cherry pick while people are dying on behalf of, like, other rules, I don't think it's right. Anywho, tell me what you think in the comments. I'm going into work.